land. So I'm just going to fill this out. We're going to make believe. So the date of marriage is January 1, 2000. The valuation date is July 31, 2022. Just to date the document. And, you know, sometimes summer 1998.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
All right. The first box is land.
Right.
Okay, so again, let's start with ownership.
Yeah.
Okay, let's think of the word ownership.
Yeah.
And usually the ownership is going to come in one of 4 ways. Oh my gosh. Maybe 5. Let's see where it goes. You can own it yourself.
Yes.
You can own it jointly with your spouse.
Yes.
Okay. You can actually own it together with your spouse, but not jointly. That's called tenants in common.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can own it with a third party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, a good example is where your parents are on title.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Yes.
And then lastly, you could not own it at all on title and be making what is known as a trust claim, that you've contributed to it, or there is some document that provides you with an ownership interest in a property that you don't have ownership in.
Right.
Okay. Each of those have their own issues, but we're going to try to do, like, you know, the 80, using the 80-20 rule. Let's stick with the 80. Okay, the generic. So,
right.
So let's just say we have the home. You could call it the matrimonial home. Okay, if you own it, and you could say 50%.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then you're going to give the address 123 Main Street.
Right.
So far we're good, right?
This is okay. Yeah.
Toronto, just to make it Toronto centric. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to put a value. Now,
right.
at the moment, you're going to find out very soon that it's not so easy to put values on every single line item.
Exactly.
Some line items are going to require what is known as opinion evidence.
Oh boy.
Okay. The typical opinion evidence of a house would be from a real estate appraiser.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now the truth is there are levels of appraisal, and the key is market value. Okay.
Market value. Right.
Market value, and we're going to come back to that term. Okay. The other thing you should know when we talk about the market value on each of these dates, it's as of 5 p.m. on those dates. Would you believe? Okay, now for a house, that's not going to be a big issue because the values don't change that dramatically day by day, but it will make a difference for the bank accounts when we get to it. So again, you may not know the value, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because what you can do is, I'm just writing. So if you own half of it, then you can put over here estimated value 500,000. So obviously, I don't know how small that is in Toronto.
Yeah.
And let's start with today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're just going to start with today, whatever today is in your life. And if the estimated value is 500,000, then you would be putting 250 here. Okay. In other words, 1/2, because you own half of it.
Right.
Now, in the other scenarios that we discussed, obviously, if you own all of it, you own all of it.
Right.
If you own it with a third party, it could be complicated. So that requires a little bit of discussion with a lawyer, frankly.
Right.
It doesn't much matter if you own it as tenants in common or joint when it comes to putting your market value.
Right.
Now, because this video is so close to July 31st, 2022, we can use the same number.
Right.
And now and I hope you appreciate that in this, in my approach, I like to start with the today column and move backwards.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as of date of marriage, you may or may not have owned this property, and
That's
you
right.
may or may not have owned it at 50%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But for now, we're going to talk about quirk number 1. I told you there are 3 quirks.
Yeah.
Quirk number 1 is that if you own 123 Main Street on date of separation, and you also owned it on the date you married, you do not deduct the value from the calculation. Now, putting it in the date of marriage column is a deduction in the way the math will work. You don't have to get too caught up on that. But the point is, even if you have $1 million piece of property, you do not include the value as of date of marriage. It's not even a 0. Like, you don't even put a 0. You don't put anything, or you put NA.
Oh.
Not applicable. That is only for a matrimonial home.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
And I just defined what a matrimonial home is. It's the home you live in on the day you got separated, or on valuation date, to be very technical. Okay, that is quirk number 1. I'm sorry, it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing. We're going to do the same thing for the mortgage, right? The liabilities on the date of marriage.
Right.
And just to make it clearer, let's just add an investment property.
Yeah, that's good. I was also
okay.
About that.
And let's say it's 456 Main Street, and you own 100% of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll put this one in Ottawa. And you can again say estimated value. Actually, the truth is, this one you may have had when you got married and you sold it and you put the money into the house when you bought the matrimonial home. Let's play that game. Okay. So let's say the estimated value was 200,000. So that can go over here. You are allowed to put that there. And if it's sold and it doesn't exist on the date you got married, on the date you separated, then just put NA, because it doesn't.
Oh, I see. I get it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
Wow, that's complicated. We just started.
Right. Yeah, the house. Yeah. So it really depends on whether it's the matrimonial home or just an investment property.
Right. Correct. Okay. And again, matrimonial home has a legal definition.
Legal definition, right.
And it only applies to date of marriage. That's where it gets confusing. So on valuation date, you're including everything you own. Okay. Until we get to quirk number 2, but we'll get there.
Okay, wait.
Okay. So on this form, and I don't like doing the math here. That's its own issue that I'm not going to discuss. Let's now go to general household items and vehicles. Oh, let me just come back just as a blanket statement. For any item that requires an opinion evidence, such as the house, you should definitely put in as much information as you can, as you just see here, even the value, and just make sure you say estimated. Okay. But you should expect that value is going to have to be revisited. Okay.
Yeah.
Certainly the 200,000 value will have to be revisited. Okay. And it might require what's known as a historic appraisal.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see.
When it comes to a home, you may not need to have it appraised if it's going to sell. But again, as a line item for filling out this form, at least put in an estimated value. Certainly when the parties exchange financial statements and they both own half a house and you see wildly different estimated values.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games kind of thing, I'm sorry to say. But that's okay, as long as you say it's estimated. may be a poor estimate, but it's an estimate.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.